Oh, there we go. Okay, it looks like I actually have some room on the left here. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. I do not. I thought I might have had some room on the left there, but I guess I don't. My stream seems a little bit slow too, but I'll just move back my window here. Okay. Oh, and I also think I might have posted the wrong message. Yeah. Crap. I posted the wrong message as well. Oh well, okay. Anyway, so this, if you clicked on the Twitter or the Discord link, this isn't a live stream about Hackers Agency programming. If you look at the bottom here, I ran an old script that had the old description. It's been a while since I live streamed here. Anyway, so this is an introduction to a side project that I'm working on right now called HackerMaker. So this is basically the prototype server here. So it's basically going to be a tool that's going to game engine that's going to allow anybody to basically easily I guess, but anybody to create single-player hacking simulation games while Hacker's Edge is still in development. So it gives people a chance to do something, at least on the Hacker's Edge website, while Hacker's Edge is being created. So this is HackerMaker here, and HackerMaker basically uses a nice C-like language, I guess, if you can call it that. So it looks like C, but it's not exactly C. I'm still working on the language dialect and adding more functions and making it much more usable. But here's an example program that I'll be displaying right away to give you guys an example. It's not done yet, but it's as you see here. I'll get to this point and then I'll stop and then I'll go through the C code. But this is basically what I want to go through really quickly. It'll only take like about 5 minutes to quickly just run through this. Give you guys a quick example of how this works and everything. So let's go through the quick example here. So when basically a user would create their game and then spin and publish it, and then after they publish it, they'd be able to either share a special URL with anybody, or essentially go to the game player website link itself and just enter in your special game code. Right now, this isn't tied to anything. This is just an example. Like, this is going to be tied to something soon, but right now it's just tied to a back-end file that my compiler just builds right now. So. But yeah, so as you type that, it goes. We don't have to really read this, but yeah, this is taken from a text file. But on the HackerMaker version on the website, the compiler will be built into the website along with the text editors, where you can basically create this information, and then be able to use this information in say your mission or whatever. So. And press enter here. It does a bunch of other stuff, etc. So there's a few built-in commands that's always available for the player just to keep things consistent. So the help command is always there. To make things even easier, you can type in H as well for this. E, of course, exits. We won't do that right now. We'll do it later. And then there's some other basic commands, like you can do ls. Right now these are built in. I'll show you in a second through the C code how this works. And then if we go type readme. If you notice before, if you looked in help right now, you'll notice we only have 4 commands: exit, help, ls, and type. And these are fully customizable by the creator who creates the missions. So you can definitely set these up. So do type readme. This doing that actually triggered an action in the game, which is creator customizable. You can create triggers. So when the people playing your game do certain things, you can actually trigger other actions. So now if I type in help, now if you notice what it says here, just type the run command to start up. If you notice before, we didn't have the run command. But now if we type in help, look what we have now. We actually have the run command, right? That was added through a trigger action. So you can do trigger actions to be able to do things like that. So it allows your scenario to run through, to be able to make actions create. Like say if you want your story to happen where a user tries to hack into a certain machine, and part of your story is they actually get caught for a second and have to find another solution to the problem, you can simulate that using this engine. So we type in run, and then it just does this, and now we have the help command yet again. So now we have a few other commands here. We have a tip. We have note. These are all text files that you can completely create. Then we have a new program here called gate. We type this in, and then it asks for a username. This is if you look in the a tip, which it's nice to give users tips if you want to make. This is a very simple, basic thing here, but it's more like just reading and just feeling a problem solved. But the engine will be able to create more complex things. Once I finish this example game here, I'll create another live stream and a YouTube video, which will be live on the channel that will show the more complex features in that. So we're going to use the username this, and if you type in the wrong username as an example here, see, it basically gives you a tip. Type in gate. We'll do that again, and we'll type in the right one this time. Ta-da! And now we're in a different system. So we type in help. We have ls again. We have type. Which we have welcome, right? And then we're going to exit out, and I want to show you the C code. So exit, exit, and we're disconnected. Okay. So here's currently how the dialect looks. This is subject to change soon. Right now there is 2 built-in commands. These commands actually won't be built in very soon. I just thought about making these not built in and making them more user customizable. Right now ls and type are both built-in commands. They currently cannot be customizable, but by the time this releases to public, these will be customizable. So I want to go. Should I go through it top to bottom or from? I'll go through top to bottom actually. So here's the login map. And if you notice the username and password that I entered here, this is the login map. So you can use it. You don't have to call it login map. This can be called absolutely anything you want. You could have like organization 1 map, organization 2 map that has all the users and passwords for that specific organization within your game world. So this is all the characters for that one section, for that one organization that you're gating into. So this map has to be called help, and these allow you to customize the commands you have. So if it doesn't exist for one command, it doesn't matter. It'll still work. It just won't display help text, which is usually quite nice. It allows you to do help text. And then these are actually user-created functions you can create. So here we have a function called jump. As you noticed here, we have... I didn't run jump, did I? I guess I didn't run jump. Oh well. Yeah, I didn't actually run jump there. Anyways, so then we have systems, which we have systems are separate from actual functions in the way that how they store data. Like systems you can use mk file and set command to be able to configure how the system works, as well as the prompt. And these things are all remembered through the player's session. So if you use mk file and set commands, and then later on you add a command through a trigger, that command will still be on that system. Same with the file. If you add a new file to a system, that file will remain that user's session. These just add new ones and will add new commands. These don't delete the commands that you're adding through triggers. So systems are a way to have persistence within the game world. So every system is persistent. A future idea is going to be adding faked networking, where you can actually have like a bunch of virtual machines, like IP addresses within your game world so the players can connect to various machines and do various things, download files, upload files, etc., right? And all that session would be saved. I'm going to be working on as games grow, players most likely won't be able to complete a game in one session, so the idea is going to be adding a save state system as well, so players can save their game and then come back later and continue where they left off, type of thing, right? So, but at the moment that's not implemented right now, but I'm making the engine for that is a possibility. Anyways, let's continue on here. So here is 2 extra. These aren't functions that players can type in, but if you see set command here, we're giving the user access to this jump command as well as these 2 built-ins, and then make file. This is just the file name, and then this is the actual text file. Once it's on the web-based version, this will be based off the text files within your profile. So once players get access to the web IDE, they'll be able to access the source code section with all their game source, with all their programs, their C programs that they compile, along with a text file library where they can write various text files like welcome and various other things you'll see down here. Because you don't want to write huge amounts of text in the C code; it just makes it hard to manage and things like that. And these are callback functions. So gate OK and gate error. This is when you saw the successful login and then the failed login. These are just callbacks. You'll see like callbacks work as you get down here. You'll notice. So then here's when you type in a tip, it just uses show message, which is going to be a command available to just basically write out any text file you want, which as you see, it's used quite a bit here. It's also used during the intro section as well. And these are also user enterable commands as well, as you'll notice down here. So now here's the custom gate command that I used earlier. So we have established connection, blah, blah, blah. We have a sleep to simulate a connection because this is all faked, right? It's not meant to be realistic or simulation. It is faked. So we have sleep for 1 second. This could obviously be more than 1 second. Just put whatever you want when you're creating your own creation. And then we have, the transmit command is quite obvious. I guess you probably got that by now. This just transmits text out to the player screen, out to the player terminal, so they can see it. And then here we have another custom command that the engine uses, which is called authenticate. This takes quite a few parameters. It takes your prompt, it takes your map. This is why you can have multiple maps, and include files will be available. So you can actually put all your variables, like all your maps, into a completely separate file if you wanted to, or separate it by host. As games get larger, you're going to want to use include files, and include files will be fully supported in the compiler. And then below it now we have our callback commands, which is the OK and the error. So if the authentication is OK, it'll jump to here. It'll run this function here, which you can do anything to. You can switch over to another system, which is gateway up here, or you can just do nothing, for example, as it does here. I'm going to add a boot out command as well. So if they do an error, for example, they can just be booted out of the system entirely, or whatever else, right? But you don't want to use switch system when you're booting someone out, though. Switch system keeps a callback stack, so that when the player exits the system, they actually go back in the stack. So it does keep a route. It keeps a full list of all the jumps the player's in. So when they type in exit, it'll actually bring them back to the previous system. So that's it. Kind of makes the engine more easier to use than, say, creating all of this by scratch and creating your own terminal-based DOS program or however you want to create something like this. This makes things more simpler, where everything is just, the engine just keeps track of your route stack. So when you exit, you automatically go back. It just makes things a lot easier. Plus, you have nice routines like authenticate, which, as you noticed, allow you fully stars out, so it looks realistic, it looks nice, right? Using the engine will make creation of this much easier. Plus, once it's public, there'll be a library that, if your game is actually public and not set as private, players that are looking for hacking simulation games could basically look in this library, go through a list of creators, or go through search for certain subjects, search descriptions, search titles, etc., and they can find different games and share them with their friends, etc. So it's gonna be like a sharing type system, right? So anyway, let's continue here. So here's another system here called Hack. Very simple, just prompt set prompt. At this point, you probably get the idea on what all these do. This is the run command you saw earlier, blah, blah, blah. Just changes over to hack, etc. This is a trigger script here. So here, trigger is one thing you haven't seen yet. So as you see here, so when the user types in this script runs. Very simple. I want to see, I'm going to probably make more complex triggers soon, but it probably won't be called add triggers. It's probably going to be specifically used for player typed commands. There's probably going to be other triggers, such as when you enter a host, that trigger is already happening, right? You can just like stuff something in the system area, and then if you connect, then yeah, you're connected. I'll probably add timers as well. So if you want the player to have to do an action really quickly in order to bypass some kind of system that's timed before, like, say, an administrator blocks them out, I'm probably going to add an add timer. So you can add timer, which would be like how many seconds. And then the second parameter, of course, would be the script you want, which would be the script, or whatever you want, the commands you want to run, be the second parameter. So if a player connects to a system, they can be able to have to be quick to solve the solution in there before they get kicked out. And I guess that's really about it. There's wait key, and then of course show message again, and then this is another custom one I built to make things feel neat, feel realistic. I guess just shows the date time with a special timestamp you can create yourself. So you can create any kind of timestamp basically, and send that over, right? And also /ns do work, so you can use /ns in your transmits. But yeah, that's basically what HackerMaker currently is. And it's going to be supporting parameters soon too. Like right now, I haven't implemented parameters into it. This command is going to have a parameter, so it's probably going to be username, for example. And then when they connect to this box here, they would have to type in jump Alice, for example, right? And then their username is passed in as the parameter to this function, and then from here you can prompt for the password, and then be able to check the login map with the username all right, without having to go through the full process. So parameters will be available, and then also if then constructs and things like that, all those kind of statements will be available soon as well too. Right now it's fairly basic at the moment, but as I say, it's definitely in progress, and once it is ready for public consumption, it's actually going to be at a state that you should be able to create an interesting variety of games without having to worry about being limited by the engine and that. So, and I'm definitely looking for suggestions once it goes public, once people start playing with it and testing it out, suggestions on what should be added and things like that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to keep this as a very short video, so I'm not going to be making it any longer right now. But yeah, so stay tuned for the public release of HackerMaker. I'm guessing hopefully less than a month, I'm hoping. But as I say, I'm quite busy sometimes. But hopefully in less than a month I'll have something going soon. But so far progress on this has been fairly fast. So hopefully things come soon. Anyways, thank you for watching, and hopefully HackerMaker will be out before you know it.